also. So Rasmus, we're seeing now, is Rasmus is making an effort there. We see Rasmus in the bottom right screen and the top left. Rasmus Feldballer is making an effort. It's up this long rise. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, there is a steeper rise close to the end, but we've got about 6 kilometers to go. Rasmus is putting in 5-6 watts per kilo. He's an extremely strong rider. He's trying to make a gap from this group. Good time. A lot of the big names. Nick has dropped out. He's struggling to get back in. Fleming Bark has dropped off. So it's a good time to try and attack this group, see who works together, but they weren't working together very well before. So they might not have the ability, they might not have the strength, they might not have the inclination, who knows, to work together. But Rasmus is making the most of it, and he's brought that gap out to 100 meters now as we go up this climb, and he'll hit the plateau and be able to extend that lead even further and hopefully hit the final climb up to the finish with a decent gap. So that's a decisive move, I think, from Rasmus. Very good move from Rasmus, very good timing to try and get away. They're about 5-6 kilometers to go, so they'll be going through Hartfield now. For those who know the Winnie the Pooh stories, Hartfield is where the Winnie the Pooh bridge is, where Pooh plays Pooh sticks, dropping the sticks into the river and watching them come out the other side, and very popular destination on weekends for the various tourists who go down there. And certainly if you're ever in that region, Ashdown Forest is a fantastic place to ride. It's got some lovely rides all around. The whole Weald is a fantastic place. I often head down there. So Rasmus now taking it away. Rasmus, I think, I cannot see them bringing Rasmus back. It doesn't look like they're trying. I'm not seeing numbers in that bunch going red. There's a lot of green, there's a bit of yellow, but people are rolling through. But nobody seems to be really putting in a massive effort to try and chase Rasmus down. So it looks to me like they have mentally allowed Rasmus to go away here. So who's in that second group? I think Daniel. I see Daniel. Yep, Daniel is in that group. Well done, Daniel. He managed to stay there. So he's up there to represent Southborough District Wheelers. We are seeing Brad Hartfeld, who's pretty high up in the series. There we go. It wasn't mine. It was ZMS. He's gone to backup. So there we go. Robbie Janko is there. Klimaszewski is there, who is often up in the pointy end of these races. We've seen him in a few of the events. Hart is there. Who else we've got? Rockwell. And have I missed any? Tim Cook. So that's our pursuing group, but Rasmus sitting on a nice 5 watts per kilo. They're not catching him. If Rasmus is keeping doing that to the end, then the gap at best is going to stay, and probably will continue to go out. You can see on the profile at the top right there that Rasmus has a bit of a gap, and he's got a little bit of a tiny little rise, and then there's going to be a downhill, and that takes us into the final finish. So that's a brilliant tactical stroke from Rasmus. He's got a bit of a gap. That 150, 160 meters he's got now is going to be easily 300 meters, I think, by the time he gets to the final climb, and that should be enough for him to power away and keep his lead until the end. So really well done, Rasmus. Perfect timing for that move. Waited until the group had been whittled down a bit, waited until the group wasn't so sure of itself, wasn't sure who were the strongest riders, and made his killer move. Simon there still pushing away. Nick there still pushing away. I'm sure Nick will tell us afterwards what happened to him. There's Chris Duffy from Southborough District Wheelers in his garage. Warren there. Where is Warren? We haven't had an update on Warren. I haven't seen where he is. He was in the second group, but we're looking there at where he's gone. We're seeing Lambert there. There's the Danish contingent, the Danish squadron that was all together. There's Warren. Yep, he's in, 17th place. So he couldn't quite, and Nick has, well done, Nick has made it back up to that group. I mean, that's a fantastic effort. He was off the back of any group, struggling solo, and made it back up. And he's now in a group there with Warren Gardner, who were sort of in the mid-teens. So that's, not a bad finish. to be in. They may be even able to keep up or catch up with some of the groups in between, or some of the smallest groups. So Rasmus putting out steady high 300s, 400 watts. That's pretty amazing. Heart rate just under 150. Wow, wish I could do that. And 84, good steady cadence. We're just about to hit this little rise, a little downhill, and then I think you'll see on the profile a little sharp uphill as we come to the finish. But no sign of Rasmus flagging there. He's putting out a steady 5 watts per kilo, steady sort of high 300, 400 watts, and looks like he's going to ride away with this race. So the distance has got suddenly a bit shorter. It's gone down to under 100, but that's just because they've hit that little 2-3% slope. Rasmus is at the top of it already. The others are just behind, and you'll see that gap start to go back out again. There it is, back over 100, and he will extend that very quickly as they go up the slope and keep his lead. So there we have the Robbie Jenko has made a move over the rise, has he? No, Hart has. So the group has split up a little bit more as we got over that little 2-3%. This is a really, really competitive race. It's great to see people attacking. They're certainly not sitting in and waiting for a sprint finish. I think because people know that it's a bit of a climb. That if you're someone like, say, Tim Cook there that you see, who I know can put out a huge number of watts, but also has will be one of the higher in terms of kilos. He will have more kilos than some of the others. He's a very strong, powerful rider, so climbing is not his thing. So he'll be looking to try and break it up before we get to the end. So people are really bringing their tactics to these races, which is great to see. So we've got what's that? Is that just under? That's a 1 kilometer banner for Rasmus Feldballer. So Rasmus now has 1 kilometer to go. He's got under the Flamme Rouge. We've got Hartfeld there, Hart, Cook. So this bunch is back together. Neugebauer has fallen off the back there. Oh, bad luck, Daniel. You're doing so well, but that little rise has done for Daniel, and he's now got a 50-meter gap to this bunch. But he just needs to keep going, and he should finish within that top 10 and not be caught by the group behind. So Rasmus now has 600 meters to go. It's a little bit of a climb going up to this final finish. It doesn't look so steep when you look at it on there. Maybe it looked, maybe the profile that I was looking at, just the perspective made it look steeper than it was. But it's enough. It's enough. It will test the legs as they go up, and it's certainly somewhere that you want to have a decent gap. And he has a decent gap. He has 140 meters. It was perhaps a little bit ambitious, thinking that it'd be 200, 300, but I'm pretty sure that this is going to be enough for Rasmus to hang on. Yep, he's only got 200 meters to go. They're not going to catch him. He's away. There he sees the finish line ahead. Rasmus is going to take this victory as the others, that's the third group, they're going through the Flamme Rouge, Warren Gardner's group, Nick's group. So Rasmus now, final 100 meters. Put your arms in the air, Rasmus. Great ride, very good tactics, and a brilliant move at exactly the right time. Well done. And there's the finish behind. Didn't quite see who got that. I saw Tim Cook in there. I saw Wout Hartveld in there. Here's the third group now. Fleming Bach, Francis Lambert has taken a long flyer from 150 meters out. Fleming is on his tail. The Danes are chasing him down, but I think Francois is just going to get there. Yes, well done, Francois, taking the 9th place, and Fleming Bach taking 10th place there. And we saw Daniel Neugebauer staying away for 8th place. So there's our top 10 there as the third group on the road now comes in. Warren, I think Nick is in there somewhere. There's Phil Riley, and a big South Africa District wheelers continued. Oh, Warren's going to push. That's a long push. He's got 300 meters to go, but he's going to try and break away from his group. Oh no, the Ratio rider is past him. Oh yes, well Nick has the legs to do this. Who's going to catch Nick? We've got Aero and Riley on Nick's wheel, but Nick is not going to let them catch him. Moss making a big effort there at the end, comes around them, but doesn't have the legs to catch Nick. Well done, Nick. Bad luck with whatever happened during the race, but a great finish. Great to see, not giving up really, and staying in the race and making the most of what he could do with the rest of his race. So we've still got riders finishing. Chris Duffy there. Here's Smith Roux coming across the line. Duffy there. Simon Miller is still pushing. Here's Headedam, another Danish rider, and Larking. So riders still will be stretched out across this course. We'll stay with a few of them as they come through, and then we'll see how far back we are before we decide when to finish. So Headedam there has 200 meters to go. Oh, Larking, he's not going to let him get away with that. He's come in front, but Headedam's got back on his wheel. Oh, this is a great finish. Headedam, oh, brilliant. He took the early sprint. Larking came around him, gave him a wheel, and Headedam was able to take the wheel and kick again to get to the end. Well done, Headedam. There's Evan Oystensen coming in 24th place. So, yeah, a little recap there because it was such a frantic finish. We didn't have time to call them all. So, Rasmus Feldballer, we know, won in a fantastic ride. And then it was a close sprint finish. Wout Hartveld just took it from Tim Cook. They're on pretty much the same time, but what's that? Hundredth, less than 100th of a second, I think. Doug Hart there in third place. Robbie Jenko Doug Hart in fourth place, third in that bunch. Robbie Jenko in fifth. Alex Rockwell from Rasio in sixth. Lukas Klimaszewski in seventh. Daniel Neugebauer, well done, Daniel, staying in there and keeping eighth place. And then there was a bit of a gap back to the third group, the group that had missed the cut, Francis Lambert and Fleming Bach in 10th place. And there's the rest of the top 20. Warren just scraping in there at 20th place, so he'll get points. And who's the top? So I think Neugebauer is the top Southwood District Wheelers rider for tonight. They have their own separate little mini competition going on among the Southwood District Wheelers riders for bragging rights at the annual dinner, I suppose. So they've got Smith Roux, Headedam, we've seen those come in, James Curran and Simon Miller there coming in at 27th. Here's Paul Watmer coming over in, where are we, at 40th, they're down to 40th now, so they're coming over thick and fast now. His Parish in 40th place. Still see riders out there, Rossano, in American flag, American jersey, as he crosses the line in 45th place. Quiles there, Portuguese flag, crossing in 47th. So here's some of the lower places as we go down the list here. Tim Lewis, Moreno Checon, Brian Christensen, Harry Smits, Togim, who the Spanish rider who we saw in trying to bridge to that gap earlier, holding on for presumably falling back a bit to 35th. Jakob Mathiasen, Wayne Maguire, Paul Watmer, 38th. So we're now down to the 50s, 48, 49, 50, crossing the line, or about to cross the line in a few hundred meters on your screen. We've got Jeff, I guess, Belgian flag, Berthold, and Smith, Irish flag. Berthold, that's an Austrian flag, I believe there. So Belgium, Ireland, and Austria about to cross the line. So here's more, Paulo Dominguez, who's a regular here, Stuart O'Grady, Jake Thomas, Kate Parrish, female rider. Well done, Kate. We saw a few. I saw Linda also, who's another female rider. I don't think she's finished yet. Daniel Rossano, Martin Jones, Silva Aquiles in 47th. So there's your 50th rider crossing the line there. Here we have Italian Labazze and a few riders further back. Looks like we've got another sprint finish here between Davidson and Desault. Who's going to take that one? Desault just comes across on the line, rolls in on the line, and Page just behind, and Grant in the Southern District Wheelers kit. Another big bunch there, or a big group there crossing the line, and Benetto also in South District Wheelers. Interesting to know how many of these people are riding in South District Wheelers kit, and I mean I know obviously a lot of the guys are actually in South District Wheelers, but I wonder how many also ride the kit. And there's Wonder Wheels, OTR, one other female riders. Goldberg, there, give us a wave as you cross the line. It's a good idea. Heron, 64th. Gee, we're really cracking through here. So not huge gaps in. I guess there was a lot of flat, but not as big gaps. And it was a 19.9 kilometer ride, which is usually enough for a few gaps. We're seeing a few more names come up here. Irakli, we saw him, the Italian rider. Dalton Davidson, we saw them fighting out, and Will Page. Here's another of our female riders, Lucy Hearn. Well done, Lucy, crossing the line there. Excuse me, in 65th place. Here's Tayan from Norway, and Hurst with the 3R kit. What does O represent? Trying to work that one out. Rice, SDW, and Barter, female riders. So another couple of SDW riders crossing the line there. Yeah, we'll hang on. So I think we got a bit of a gap after these riders are crossing the line. So that might be time for us to leave. But we'll see. Yeah, we've got a bit of a sort of kilometre gap going back to Linda. Linda, 73rd place. Linda organises quite a few group rides on and Aussie time frame group rides, Kings and Queens sprint and endurance rides, organised by Linda and King Smilon. Here's Dusan crossing the line, and well, I think it says you wait for one, then the others aren't that far away, so we might as well wait for them, give them their moment as they cross the line. Why not? Who knows? They might have people waiting and watching, or they can look back at the broadcast to see what happened. It's always interesting when you've been riding, a different group or riding up the back to see how the race came up front. Of course, you don't get to see that when you're actually riding and putting in all that effort to keep going and get to the end. So Dusan there in the I'm going to offend somebody. I'm not sure if that's Slovakia or Slovenia, and but it's a central. I will go for the Central European country. Apologies if I've done my. They might both be wrong. Wow, Montero putting in a big sprint there to. Gosh, if you've got that many legs left at the end, why is he in 71st place? Yeah, putting in a big effort there to drop his compatriot, or not compatriot, drop his fellow rider there and make sure that he secures 71st place. Always, it's a place, isn't it? 71st, better than 72nd. So well done for putting the effort right to the end. So now we've got Louis here, and here's Demay and Linda. We'll just let Demay and Linda come across the line, and then we might wrap up. So this is, as I said, race 8. This is a 10 race series. Next week, Eddie, that's not very gentlemanly to, I'm said Eddie, but that's not very gentlemanly to drop Linda like that on the line, but there you go. Well done, Linda. So this is a 10 race series. This is race 8, so we've got 2 races to go. Next week is like a crit race, I guess, at Cyclopark, which is a closed circuit race out along the Thames corridor out that I've done a few races out there myself and near Rotham. And the final one is going in 2 weeks' time. Is going to be a bit of a killer from Tonbridge, finishing up Toys Hill, which is an infamous climb at sort of a very long climb at sort of 8 to 10%, and it will finish at the top there. It does have a very nice view and a cafe. So that will be the final 2. So yeah, well done to everybody who took part tonight. Really great race. Congratulations to Rasmus for displaying some really clever tactics and riding away with it. And well done to everybody who kept going, kept those groups splitting up, and made a really, really interesting race to watch. So join us again. Join obviously all the ZMS broadcasts that are going on. ZMS broadcasting lots and lots of races at the moment. It is peak indoor season, peak season on RGT. There we have our final, the top 60 there, riders, as we watch some of them still struggling across the line. We've got a few kilometres back there. So well done. I mean, congratulations to them for keeping going. Great to see people going in it who aren't actually there to win the race, but are just there to challenge themselves. So they'll keep going across the line. We will wrap up and, as I say, catch all the ZMS streams that are going on at the moment. The Echelon Pro Racing, the Tour du Monde races that are on, that finishes tomorrow, is say a huge climb of Mount Fuji. That's going to be a massive event, and then the final stage on Sunday, and lots of other great racing that is always on ZMS. Damon does an amazing job bringing all these races to you with his absolutely pro setup. West London BR races every other Wednesday. Lots and lots of races to either take part in on the RGT or watch on ZMS, or take part in them and then watch them again on ZMS. All happening. So thanks for joining us. Hope you've enjoyed that. So come back next week. 2 more races in the series to go. Lots of other events, and hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching.